friends, I'm Mackenzie and you're watching my YouTube channel. That was a joke. I hope they still do that on Disney Channel. I don't know. Anyways, would that get me copyrighted? Don't copyright me. I'm not trying to steal Disney. Like, maybe I'll just leave that part out. I don't know. Obviously, you are watching my YouTube channel, so welcome. Grab your favorite cup of tea, grab a comfy cozy sweater and a blanket, and we can just hang out for a bit. Why am I so bad at this? Okay, be kind to yourself, okay? This is not going bad. This is not the worst thing ever. I'm doing great. I am trying. I'm putting in the effort. Tell yourself the same thing. Boost yourself up. Let's go. And even if everyone in the comments is like, this isn't helping, well, that's fine. I'm sorry. I tried. I mean, so what? Okay, all right.
Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright.
Grabbing my tea. So, tip number 1 is to start where you're at. What this means is to not put extra pressure on yourself when you're already going through a tough time. So, I feel like a lot of us, when we're at a really low place, we want to be better. Duh. That's why you clicked on this video. You want to feel better, you want to be better, you want to be happy, and living your best life. Of course, sometimes we're not matching where we're at. So if we're at a really, really low point and like we have this expectation of ourselves, like, no, we're gonna have a good day today. How can you have a good day if you're at a really, really low? You're not even honoring those feelings. You're not honoring the trauma that you might be going through. You're not honoring the changes and shifts that your brain is going through. You have to be kind with yourself. If you're struggling to get out of bed and you have this mental expectation of yourself, well, I should have taken a shower, I should have messaged my friends back, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course, yes, you should have done those things, fine, but not with where you're at. Okay, you gotta be kind to yourself. It's such a fine line and it's going to be different for everyone, which makes this tip a very difficult one for me to explain. And hopefully it makes sense to you and you can find the right path for yourself through this tip. I can do a whole other video about this and I probably will at some point. But this is my short little snippet to explain that that's what it means to start where you're at. So you need to know what you're capable of in your healing process. You need to be aware of what you're expecting from yourself in regards to where you're at. You need to set realistic goals for yourself. And then lastly is to be patient and kind to yourself. You gotta be patient, you gotta be kind, you gotta be your best friend right now. You gotta be the one comforting yourself and like telling yourself what a good job you're doing by just getting through each day.
We're flying high, floating somewhere up in the clouds.
The second tip, that is to get moving. I know that that is a really tough one for a lot of people. Again, I will just reiterate, start with where you're at. So when I say to get moving, I'm not saying for a certain duration or intensity. I'm just saying to do it. If that means 5 minutes of yoga, if that means 5 minutes of stretching, if that means 5 minutes of jumping jacks, fine. So be it. 5-minute walk, leisure walk with your dog. That's not the duration I'm putting on you. I'm just saying it can be as small as that. So obviously, again, start with where you're at. If you are capable of doing a 1-hour workout, do it. There is a whole scientific reason why this works. Again, I can do a whole other video on this, and I can show statistics and research studies and things like that as to why this helps with mental health issues. Anyways, get moving.
We're doing our thing, we're like wheels that won't stop turning. So take me on a trip.
Tip number 3. I would say this one is very much specific to people with anxiety though. This tip to me has been life-changing, and if you keep an open mind, it could be something that makes you feel a lot better too. No caffeine. This includes coffee. That's the part I think that's going to turn people off. But just know that all of the caffeinated things, there's alternatives to those that don't have caffeine. So if you are someone who really likes caffeinated tea, there's a decaf version of it. Ultimately, it's 2 weeks. Drink decaffeinated coffee from home. Drink decaffeinated tea from home. Drink a decaffeinated soda if you normally drink caffeinated. I know some people are really, really picky about what sodas they drink, and I don't blame you. But for 2 weeks, it's just 2 weeks to get that caffeine out of your system and to really help you assess and see how you feel after doing that. I was someone who didn't think caffeine affected me at all. And my counselor was like, just take it out of your diet for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, I'm pretty miserable. uncomfortable right now. What's it gonna hurt? I put it back in 2 weeks when I'm all done. Whoop-de-doo. You know, like that's not putting me out a whole bunch. That's actually like making my life a smidge easier. Just one less thing I have to make in the morning. I'm not kidding you. For me personally, I have not had anxiety since. With the withdrawal symptoms, I was in such a fog that it acted as almost like an anti-anxiety medication. Like I didn't feel good. Withdrawal symptoms are not fun, they're not easy, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But I didn't even drink that much caffeine to begin with. So I feel like you never know how badly something's affecting you, especially if you're someone who drinks at least 1 cup of coffee every day like I was. That builds up in your system. For some reason, it impacted me that much. So I mean, once you get used to something and you've been doing it for a long time, you stop realizing how much you've adjusted and coped with that change. Take it away for 2 weeks. If you don't like it, if you feel no different, just put the coffee back in, put the pop back in, put the energy drink back in. Who cares? What are you out? 2 weeks and you tried something that you thought might help you? I don't know. I don't see the loss in that. That is tip number 3. Let me know if any of you do try this. Let me know if that helps you or if it doesn't. I mean, I hope that my comments aren't just like filled with, this didn't help me. But if it is, then so what? You guys tried it and I'm proud of you. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is something I like to call a mental health log. This is something that I recommend no matter what mental state you're at. Even if you're at the best freaking time of your life, I would recommend doing this. I'm gonna break down each section of the journaling thing that I do. I start by titling it Mental Health Log, and I put the date. I feel like it's important to put the date just because that way you know what stage of life you're at, what you were going through, and you can see your progress. I just think that day by day, like that doesn't seem like much, but then looking back, it's really amazing. But anyways, the very first section that I do is the How I Feel section. So this is the section where you just vent it all out. What are you going through that day? If you had a really bad day, vent it out. Be as descriptive as you can of what you're feeling so that you're getting those feelings and emotions out. It's really easy when you know no one's going to see it. So the next section is the what I did for myself that day. So this can be anything. This can be something as massive as I planned myself a trip to go to Disneyland, or something as small as I drank a glass of water and I hydrated myself. You want to list as many things as you can in that section just because I feel like there's so many tiny things we do every single day for ourselves that it doesn't register, oh yeah, I did that for myself today. The next section is one of my favorites, probably is my favorite. It is what I am grateful for. I make this a relatively small section, probably 3 to 5 things is what I typically list, but I am always very careful to never write people or animals. I know that this is something that people often really, really love to write in their grateful for section, is obviously writing the people and little beings that get us through so much. But I believe that that kind of creates a mentality that if those people or those pets aren't there anymore, then we might not have something to be grateful for, if that makes sense. I'm gonna be grateful for them whether I write that in that journal or not. That's a no-brainer. Every single day I can't help but think of how grateful I am for my best friend. It happens to me every single day, every time I think about her. So me not writing that down in the journal is not going to change that. What it does change is my perspective on what I can be grateful for if every single thing in my life disappears. So I think that that is such a powerful place to be. So things that I often write down is I'm grateful for my ability to grow and change. I'm grateful for my ability to better myself. I'm grateful for my ability to work out. If you believe in a higher power, that's something else you can be grateful for. I'm grateful to have a higher power that looks over me and guides me through life. Your ability to gain knowledge about the world around you. Your ability to watch YouTube videos. I don't care what you write, just I think writing down things that can't as easily be taken away is so amazing. The next section is the I ams section, and this is positive affirmations about yourself. They can be true or not true at a given time. For instance, if you are at a very low place right now and you're like, Mackenzie, I don't have a single good thing that I can see about myself. Not a single thing. I feel weak, I feel mean, I feel stupid, all these terrible negative things. Okay, cool. That's starting with where you're at. But you know what I'm going to tell you to do? In that I am section, you're going to write down the things that you aspire to be. So say you feel mean, like, you know what, I just lost all my friends because I was just really not nice to them. Write down in your I am section, write I am kind, I am love, I am empathetic. Read them to yourself as if you are those things. That sounds so silly. You gotta boost yourself up. If you're at like a really low self-confidence place, you're not going to be able to improve yourself at all. The I am section, I feel like, is just one of the most important ones. It can start off super tiny, but I swear after a couple days of doing this, you're gonna like not have enough room to write all the things that you like about yourself. Finally, the last section is goals, and I do this as a daily thing. So it can be something as small as I need to do like a load of laundry, finish an assignment, take a shower, cook dinner, things like that. Write 1 to 10 goals. I mean, keep it realistic for where you're at. So I really hope that you guys take this and run with it.
Drunk, I've never seen you clearer than now. We're flying.
Okay, this one is to find a YouTube channel or channels that bring you peace, comfort, happiness, and can kind of be like an escape in a sense from the bad things going on in the world or in your personal world. I am not saying this for me to be that person or that channel for you at all. I mean, if I can be, that's like the dream, in my opinion, is to just be able to be someone that people can watch and really kind of like forget about what's going on in their life. I think that that would be so cool. But basically, I don't care. I don't care if that's what I end up being. I'm just giving the tip to find a YouTube channel or multiple that give you some comfort. So some YouTubers that I really like to watch are Whitney Simmons, Beatrice Caruso, and recently Taylor Woods. Those three ladies are nothing but sunshine. Both Whitney Simmons and Beatrice Caruso have been very open about their struggles with mental health. I really admire that about them. I think that they are just really great humans in general. The only reason I bring those people up is so that you can then go and watch them if you right now are like thinking, I don't have anything that I can watch and it comforts me. Maybe these ladies will. Tip number 6 is to start a new hobby. I want to, again, reiterate, start with where you're at. If you're not at a place right now where you can start a new hobby, then don't put that pressure on yourself. If you are at a place where you're like just really uncomfortable and you don't really like your life, or you're not very confident and that's where your mental health problems are stemming from, start a hobby. If you have like the motivation to really like change your life and you're capable of doing that, start a hobby. I feel like when we find something that we are good at or are learning about, I feel like we can gain a lot of confidence from that. So, and if you get really good at a hobby, you can make money from doing it. So like win-win situation. I know for a while I got really into painting t-shirts. I was really into making little like wall hanging watercolor paintings that people could put in a frame and like hang them. I created an Etsy site. Nothing came of it, but I did that. You can literally just Google 100 hobby ideas and something will come up that sounds fun to you. Start a hobby. Okay. Gosh, I feel like this is gonna be... The 7th tip I have is to clean or reorganize anything. So when I say anything, I mean anything. It can be as small as a drawer. It can be as small as your purse. Or it can be as big as if you, again, if you have a lot of motivation, your entire room or your whole closet. Depending on where you're at, mental health wise, that can be very overwhelming. So again, I'm just trying to make these tips very universal with saying start with where you're at. Our space really does reflect where we're at mentally. So if our entire space that we're living in is trashed, normally it's because our mental health is trashed. So if you have it in you to organize or clean anything, even if it's just doing a load of laundry, like sort out one load of laundry, that's something that's like magic to me. If I just do like one load, I feel like I've had a productive day. And that is my 7th tip. The 8th tip is to get outside. I know that not all of us live in a climate where it's enjoyable to go outside all the time. I personally am living in an environment that is getting to be colder. Gonna be honest, going outside doesn't sound all that fun or appealing, but it does do a lot for your mental health, even if it's just 5 minutes. Again, that's just like a time frame that I feel anyone can endure something for 5 minutes, even if it is freezing out. But that fresh air, really like allowing yourself to get into a mindfulness state of like the beauty of the world around us. I mean, even if everything's dead outside, there's still a beauty in it. It might not be the same as like when it's all sunshine outside and it's summer and it's warm and it's beautiful, but there's a beauty about it, and you can really like focus on your senses when you're outside. You can focus on like the sounds that you're hearing and the feeling of the air coming into your lungs, and like I know that sounds really hippy dippy, but I swear it works if you keep an open mind. Yeah, getting outside is just really important. I gotta film an outro. I was gonna say something negative, but I'm gonna crush it. We're gonna say we're going to because we believe in ourselves. Alright guys, if you made it through this entire video of all of my tips, I want to say a massive thank you. I really genuinely hope that one or all of these tips work for you. I hope that they help you get to a better, happier, healthier version of yourself. If you do want me to do an entire video on any one of these tips, please let me know in the comments below or email me. I don't care. Either way, I will read it. I will take it as sincere input and I will put it to use. As always, I am sending love and good vibes your way. If you feel like sending a little bit of love and good vibes back my way, please feel free to press the like button and the subscribe button so we can spend more time together and feeling happier together. That's a wrap. Cool. Big W's, only wins. Something like that. I'm getting frustrated. Okay, I'm already not liking this introduction. This is not going well. Tea fixes everything, okay? We're gonna post this anyway. I'm not recording it for the 4th time, okay? Okay? I'm sorry. You know what? I've already put a lot of effort into this. I'm gonna be real. And I know I look all comfy and cozy right now, and you're like, no biggie. But like, it's like, if any of you are students or have been students, it's like when you worked really, really hard on a project and then you think you saved it and then it disappeared and then you gotta start all over again. Like, that's how I feel every time that I'm recording this bad YouTube video.